Hello guys, Summer here. Welcome to another episode of the China Innovation Decoded. Are you sometimes annoyed by the information overflow or tired of going through endless searches to find the right information you need? Well, today we have invited Ye Chen, CEO of Tigerobo, a Microsoft for Startups powered AI-based financial search engine startup that is aiming to revolutionize the info searching experience.
I think mainly I want to start up a thing that is close to my heart. So I chose AI, artificial intelligence, especially deep learning, NLP technologies to enable disrupting business model and products. We've been in the United States 13 years and been in the AI and machine learning community and discipline for many years. I find this is really fascinating area, and I want to dedicate my own entrepreneurship and the rest of probably the career years into this business.
So why do you specifically choose the fintech industry as a start?
For a startup, you need to pick up an area that the entry barrier or competitive edge is not based on maybe data, private data, neither based on business channels. So I choose the area. The initial competitive edge is primarily based on technology, the cutting edge technology. In finance, first of all, the data is very important. With the cutting-edge technology we developed, we can fully leverage the value from the data, maybe much better than our competitors or other players. Second, finance is more or less a everyday business. Everyone knows stocks, investings, and financial news. The pain point as of today is the users, both B side or retail side, they find very hard to sift through an overwhelming data and find the information or data or knowledge they need. That's where AI and the technology we developed can really help. That's why we enter into the financial domain. But nothing blocks us to expand to other industries. Actually, we incubate products and business beyond in financial industry.
So what do you think about the fintech market in China?
I believe fintech is a really hot area or market, both global wide and especially in China. We have seen several waves. First is mobile payment. Right. Which China is obviously number one worldwide. And now, both in the asset management and the risk control, we need deep and hardcore technologies to improve efficiency. And the third trend is openness of the Chinese financial market. Chinese people will sooner or later invest abroad and oversee institutions or even individuals. They will invest in China, and we need to bridge the information gap. So I think fintech is a very good area for us, and I think for technology-driven startups.
Do you think for like Tigerobo to be really successful, the timing is really important? For example, if we say, I don't know, 10 years ago or 20 years ago, do you think by then there will be a necessity for Tigerobo to exist then?
Yes, absolutely. I think timing is probably the most important thing for almost everything. Now is a good time, absolutely. But how soon the real wave will come up, we don't know. And what we do is just want to pave a way and be the number one to welcome any wave or any real trend. If we say 10 years ago, I would say the technology is not there yet. in many areas, from the computer vision, speech, to NLP. But with the past 5 to 10 years development, many technology become more and more usable. From computer vision, face recognition, speech, and to text processing. My personal take is within 5 or 10 years, several big things will landing. Landing means find the real business impact in very big scale. That's why we want to be the first to welcome the wave.
Yeah, for sure. I see you mentioned NLP, and I know that NLP has been widely developed and used by many like search engines companies like Google and of course Microsoft. So what do you think, what makes your product so different, and what is your market competitiveness?
That's a good question. I think two things. So if we look at the mainstream search engine like Google and Baidu, the technology architecture or the product framework hasn't been changed for almost 20 years. The traditional search engine is user input a keywords, and the system uses pretty much exact match to find possible answers in the form of URL links. Right. A bunch of URL links, and the user needs to sift through again and do their further study to find the real answer. And the reason behind it, 20 years or even 10 years, the technology is not there yet. The technology being the algorithm can understand users' intent deeply, so that the system can give you the answer more straightforward. So Tigerobo search will follow this value proposition. We want to give users direct answer, straight to the point answer, as many as possible, because we find I worked at Microsoft. I worked at Microsoft Bing search engine. More than probably half of the user queries is very specific, is factoid, and for those queries we should give the answer directly. That's number one. Number two, many data are very deep or very dark. Dark means sits in offline format, such as PDF, such as image, such as table. And the mainstream search engine do not include those data, do not make sense of those data because of technological reasons. Tigerobo search use the latest deep learning technology to use algorithm to make sense of those data. So the search engine include data is much more broad and deeper than the nowadays search engine. That's the second part. If we say third part is the system user interaction is more natural. Okay, you don't need to memorize or remember the exact saying of the question or the metric or the facts you want to ask. You just say it casually or freely, and the chances our natural language understanding model will understand your intent and find the answer for you.
That's very cool. So I guess when you mentioned like a user query was very specific, can you give an example? Like what were they normally like searching for?
Sure. The Tigerobo search focused on finance and economics first. Then let me give you an example on that domain. Let's say an analyst want to study two companies, two popular companies. One is the gigantic e-commerce company Alibaba. The other one is the emerging e-commerce, social e-commerce site called Pinduoduo. Let's say the analyst want to compare the business scale of these two companies. So there is a very important leading indicator called active buyers, right? So in our system, in our search engine called Tigerobo Search, you just ask directly Alibaba's active buyers. And the search system immediately will return you the answer from the most reliable sources, which is the latest earning from Alibaba. Okay? And the actual answer is called annual active consumers or annual active customers. Notice, my query is active buyers. The answer may be active consumers and active customers. and with the quantify annual. But you got the answer anyway, immediately. So when you ask the next question, Pinduoduo's active buyers, you will get the answer from Pinduoduo's earning reports. Okay, then you will compare the number, and one click or two click away, you know the core business, core operational metrics for these two companies. And traditional search engine or traditional financial terminals.
So you have to probably go through like 10 clicks or more.
Or even read the earning report, which is usually dozens or hundreds of pages.
Wow. Okay. So that's like really efficient for like the users.
That's the equity research user scenario. Tigerobo search engine also cover a lot of other industry research scenario and even retail individual user scenario. Like you can compare companies, their financial matrix or operational matrix across industry. You can ask questions like, for the 4 biggest banks in China, which one has the highest revenue? The system will immediately give you the tables to the comparison and the visualization to the comparison. You can ask, what is the PE ratio in the NASDAQ for all the AI companies? You probably will see Alibaba, you will see Microsoft, you will see Salesforce, you will see Google, and you can compare their PE ratio as the real-time market information.
Wow, that's really cool. So what is the biggest challenge Tigerobo is facing right now in China?
Relatively,
yeah.
2 major challenges is as follows. First is the talents. Okay?
Yeah.
So I would say the real superb talents is scale resources. Okay, maybe even more scary than in China than Silicon Valley.
You mean like for people to join your team, or?
For people can really deliver.
Okay.
To develop and deliver. Many people want to join my team. Because it's a very scarce resources. The talents I would hunger for are the people who has mastered cutting edge technology, especially in machine learning and NLP. But that's not enough.
Okay.
And also has very strong and savvy business sense, can smell where is the business impact, where is the what the product would look like. So only this unique combination can deliver, can compete in entrepreneurship or startup world, especially in China, and the competition is very, very fierce.
Yeah, of course. Any other challenge?
The second challenge, I would say, for most of the AI company, to develop their capability and develop their industry know-how, they usually start with 2B business.
Oh, and, I heard you're also 2C.
Yeah,
right?
We both 2B and 2C. We have a full portfolio of C product launched online just recently.
Oh, congrats.
The second challenge would be to develop 2B business. The cycle is prolonged. Usually it's prolonged. Takes 3 months or 6 months. The rhythm is not your rhythm. Usually it's your client's rhythm.
Okay.
And sometimes it's painful for a startup company who usually wants change every day. Wants to see change or disrupting every day.
Right.
That's a second challenge. And come back to our C product stack. It's challenge, but meanwhile, the dream is even bigger. You know, we deliver product directly to our C users, C side users, and the inner rewarding is bigger, at least to me and to my team. It's fun, it's challenge, and it takes maybe more luckness to success. But we bet long-term wise more on C side than B side. First of all, the user base is huge in China.
Right.
There is
sure.
1 billion potential users. Second of all, once you find you have the direct interaction or communication or dialogue with your users, the feeling is different. Okay, the rhythm is different. I give you an example. We launched 6 products a couple of days back, including our news app called Ximei. In Ximei, Mei is the Mei, Xi is Western, including our private market tools, 创投派, and our IPO tracking tools, 招股书, and our secondary market app called 财神股票, etc. And many users download and use it, and they will give you feedbacks. Some feedback like, wow, this is really cool. It saves a lot of time of my daily work. And can we get it for free? And I would answer, for C product and for our initial 10,000, you will have my product for free, lifelong. And they really like it, and they want to grow together with us. So they start to give us meaningful feedbacks to boost and to iterate our product. And all from some our product, we see user feedbacks directly from the product, because we leave the entry point for user feedback.
Wow.
So we find we change and we become better and better every day.
Yep.
And more our user base is increase on daily basis.
It's also growing, yeah.
Increasing daily basis.
Yeah, so I saw you just completed another round of Series A funding, and congratulations. So what is your next step? What other potential areas are you planning to expand to?
My next step, first of all, I want to expand maybe verticals. Currently, we're focusing on finance.
Right.
But we find the thing we build up actually broadly applicable to any area where user want simply and naturally find information they need.
Like if they have a very specific question.
Not only specific or research type or comparison or high level.
Okay.
So what we really want to build is the new generation of entry point for people to find the information they really need. Notice the word they really need, not the information for Q time. Okay. So I would imagine we are working on tomorrow's information entry point. So it's applicable for finance, and it's applicable for many other domains, including consumer economics, buy things, healthcare,
right,
fashion for girls like you, etc. Any scenario you need collect information and make a decision, Tigerobo will help you in a different way.
And it's because I guess time for everyone is the most precious thing.
Exactly.
And if you can go through all this searches within just 1 or 2 clicks.
Exactly. Time is most precious resources nowadays, and people will find the time is more and more fragmented with mobile phone and with all kinds of technology. So if you want to finish some task, if you want to answer some questions, or it should be just several clicks away. It should not be a prolonged research process. That's where we come in.
And I guess, do you have a plan for entering the foreign market? Or
actually pretty soon.
Oh yeah?
The reason being is the technology we build is internationalized from day one. Okay. For several of our products, we will come up with a foreign language version. For US market, it's English, and for some Latin language countries, we will come up with their own language and just launch it, because the product we build and the needs the user have, we find is global by nature, such as get good quality news and information, following the market trends, do some research for their investment. These needs are not local.
I think I also noticed that the needs are pretty much the same for everyone around the world. But do you think, is there any difference between China and, I guess, for example, in the States, in terms of user habits or user experience? And how do you like manifest that in the search engines? For example, I don't know, like for example Google or Baidu, like maybe in Baidu search engine there are more promotions or like on the side, or like whereas Google is like quite simple. Like yeah.
I think this is a question critical for our global expansion. And thanks for my experience both in the United States 13 years and and the China booming of the internet. So I have some thinking, at least the following. In the US market, if we want to product an information product like search engine or information app, the data quality and the reliability is one of the most important things. But less so in China. For example, if you want to provide a news, the news should be very neutral, very objective, and the data is accurate, is reliable. Okay. The second difference is for the Western countries, people search more than China. They search more. They have their clear intent, and they want to do the research their own. So the search functionality should be more obvious than, because Chinese users, they search less. We all know they have a bunch of app to kill time, right? They passively consume a lot of information, more than the time they have actually, but US less so. So the data quality and the search quality is probably the two things we will consider first.
How, like, I guess based on that, how would you like optimize user experience? Or is that something you are paying a lot of attention?
Yes, that's definitely the most important thing if we do 2C business. First is we do 2B and 2C simultaneously as well. But 2B business for Tigerobo is mainly to build up the know-how for the industry one by one. Like finance, it's a 100-year industry. There's a lot of know-how, a lot of learning curve to climb. We learn that, we respect that, and use that know-how to meet individual user or seaside users' needs, and you will find you will excel or do better job than your competitors if they start with 2C. That's one angle. For example, if we want to research a company or provide a company research report or summary to a C user, and you have done similar job for Goldman Sachs or Citibank, then your report will be high quality for sure. And the second is, because we are doing machine learning AI already, we will use the user feedback online through our product to iterate our product. Give you an example. The user needs, even in the financial industry, are very different from one to another, from one company to another, from one institute to another. And we will use the user behavior to personalize or to gauge a product every user will like. Give you an example. If our user is a news, they do media, media employee, they probably search more for private company, right? Looking at the industry trend. If the user government works, they look for the official report. They like report from McKinsey, etc. So, or even the query are same, like, what's the trend in artificial intelligence, right? What's the trend if 5G comes? So they will, the system will automatically learn their behavior, learn their preference, and tailor the best results to them. That's why we start from China. China has probably the largest user base in the world. And then our model will grow very fast. And when the model become very savvy, smart, then we introduce those models to the abroad.
Do you have a specific country abroad, or it's just like in
specific
country, or
we have abroad. A list. We have a list. Yeah. The rest is according to the GDP, their population, and their hunger for those products.
Very cool. Thanks so much for sharing. And I guess another just personal question, like how do you divide up your time now since you have so many things to do on your plate? How do you...
my time is obviously 100% entrepreneurship except for sleep. And that's the thing I would like to share. Entrepreneurship as of today, and at least as of today in China, is like 1 day in heaven equals 1 year in earth. And entrepreneurship is in heaven. That's why I handle millions of things every day, including coding, develop a product, meeting investors, strategic thinking, or even write our PR article.
Oh, wow.
That's a reality. But we are happy internally because the thing we are doing, we truly love it. And we think we will make huge difference and impact every single person.
And it's making everyone's like life more convenient.
More convenient, a better life. So their more precious time can spend with their families and the lover, the people they loved. That's our dream. And it's self-rewarding. So the rhythm is different, but we're happy.
Awesome. I guess we'll end on that. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Michael.
If you're hungry for more decoded insights on China's startup and tech landscape, or you've simply been enjoying our talks, good news, we're now live on iTunes. So leave a comment and let us know what you like and dislike about our show, and we will keep improving. Thank you, and until next time on China Innovation Decoded, powered by Microsoft for Startups Shanghai.